Welcome to another episode of Conscious Reconstruction. I almost called this Sam's Club for some reason, but I don't know why. I'm here with the usual suspects.
We are the unusual suspects.
Oh, wow.
We've been down here for quite a while.
We haven't. It hasn't been that long.
I mean,
I don't know the last time I've spent this much time. Never mind.
been about 7 to 8 hours.
No.
Yes.
We've only been here for 5. It's like...
All right. Almost 6 hours in. Because it's about to be 11. So. Yeah. Charles has things he wants to say.
Y'all can suck it right the hell up.
All right. Well, actually, there are some questions I had for y'all
What?
that I didn't ask that I normally ask. How was y'all weekend?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Yeah, I asked.
It's busy.
I love the
Busy.
It was busy, and like my body is not caught up. The fatigue is still 50-50, so like I can get some things done. It's like one step at a time. Like I'll be work and just have to clean and just be done. So it's been a rough ride.
Getting used to these early mornings is a bit rough.
I wouldn't say that because I haven't been waking up at the time I was going to, because I've been taking my pills and then not setting my alarm clock. So I set it at 8:30. So I sabotaged there. But
Baby steps.
you got it. No, I just been like I said lately, I don't know what the fuck this shit is. It's starting December, but I've just been working through it. So whatever.
I support that. I love how you ended with this. So whatever. That's me. That's the enemy talking.
That's the enemy.
What about you, Charles?
Looking into more stuff for us. We just greenlit some stuff. Particularly, I got to buy some lighting and some things like that. So I'm going to really probably dive into researching that, along with making sure our articles and shit together are for Sam's. But yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, what, nigga?
I'm ready.
Ready for what?
I'm ready to get this shit popping.
Dude, this is
We're gonna go.
We ready, you know what I'm saying? We
This
talked
is-
about it. We don't want to be peasants this year. This year,
We're ready.
to get started. Nah, I mean,
to keep it pushing. Push it to the next level. Because we were already started.
Jesus Christ.
Nice little...
Whatever happened to Fergie?
Fuck her. You remember I had them
You
callback
can't help it.
tones? You remember having the callback tones?
Yeah.
This bitch, this girl, had that fucking, I hope you know, and never changed it. And I've known her so long.
It's still going?
No, it's not still going. But every time I call it, I hope you, I would throw my phone down. I'm just like, oh my God, can you
That's
fucking
almost
answer?
enough for us not to be friends.
I hope. And Fergie listening to this bitch when I had to go to like school the most miserable time of my life. No, baby, no.
I
I'd
had to go
wake
to
up.
school the most miserable time of my life.
Because you know how you can set the TV to
fuck
wake
with
up,
my
right?
heart.
I'll fucking stab you right fucking now. What you fucking laugh saying that fucking bullshit ass song? And that fucking Mariah Carey Shake It Off song?
I just gotta shake it up.
No,
oh
that's-
my
that's
God.
not- that's different.
That's what I
shit.
got.
Hey, I need a haircut. So I wouldn't be mad about that.
I fucking hate that video.
I had a pretty decent weekend. I don't know. I was pretty productive actually yesterday. And
Honestly, we've had a probably work-filled 3 or 4 days.
yeah, and then today was trash. I didn't feel productive at all. And so Charles came in to me listening to 2 things simultaneously to restart all of my engines.
It was just like, I need some energy from somewhere.
Yeah, it's like I need some chaoticness. So I'm going to play this live stream and this album. Charles came down and was like, are you watching this? Yes.
I didn't actually doubt that I asked him whether or not he was watching it, and he said yes, and I didn't really question whether or not he was, because his overly active brain is just like, well,
all the things, all the time.
I've questioned you on this before, and you've literally I've questioned him on it before, and he's rattled off like the past 5 or 10 sentences dude says is just like, what's he saying over there? Blah, 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 blah. Whatever's going on inside of your brain, that's great. Keep it to yourself, though.
I mean,
it's like,
I try.
I don't know if you did PCP or if your brain operates like it's on PCP normally and you need some like lithium or something to calm that shit down.
Like, no, it was just like, no, I needed a jump start. Like, the way that I want to say it, I don't feel like y'all understand. So I'm trying to figure out a better way
to
ran
out of spoons?
No. I was very, very present today. And that's weird for me.
Awesome. Is you were very much on today and you weren't necessarily in the future. It's just like,
yeah, like everything. I was just like, all right, well, there's no future thoughts and there was just nothing. It was just, I was very present in like hearing this.
The mire
and I was like,
of today.
Well, this is boring and dumb. I could be doing something.
It's probably because everything
What do I need to work on and do? God damn it. Do something.
Well, you have important deadlines that are like,
I don't.
Well, in a way, it's just like the culmination of your work is coming to fruition. At that point, you're at the end.
I don't know how. I think that's a weird feeling. Like, yeah, like finishing a project and like actually like to all the way of completion.
Because you were
That's an interesting feeling for me. That led to like a lot of weight being lifted off my shoulders that I didn't know I had like on my shoulders. Like I didn't realize how like, I wouldn't say stress because stress like makes it sound negative, but how much of like pressure I had put on myself for like to do this and complete it and like get it done. And so,
you know that feeling, Tony?
Then
that's what anxiety feels like.
Well, no, I didn't feel bad because I didn't think about it at all until the very end, and then it was done, and I was like, "Huh, all right." Well, I think I'm sleepy, and then I took a nap. So I don't know.
A lot of people don't have the critical analysis to actually realize they're feeling heavily anxiety. Only reason why I know it is because I've had to deal with it a good portion of my life.
Well, I didn't notice it until it was gone. While it was happening, I didn't feel any adverse effects. It was just like, all right, get this done. And that's why it's more like a lot of like heavy pressure. Like, all right, you got a lot of things to do. And especially since a lot of my deadlines didn't line up with the way the year wanted things. Yeah, because fucking New Year's is on the fucking weekend. Christmas is on the weekend. I also am trying to finish this project and get other people to do their portion of work around the holiday season. So that's slow. So it was just a lot of
stuff.
Yeah, just a lot of uncontrollable stuff that like I dealt with. And then I was like, all right, I'm done. And then I was pretty productive yesterday on a lot of different fronts. Then me and you worked yesterday. And finished
Thursday night. That's why I was looking at you yesterday, because it's like, I don't know, your facial expression are just like, you looked real weird. You're just like, huh. You were just kind of looking around. It seemed like I thought there was something wrong with what we were working on, and you were just like, no, there's nothing wrong.
I'm just looking for something to do.
You look like there was going to be a next thing and you just couldn't come up with the next thing.
And that's bothering me. I know, like I'm in works of things, but it doesn't
There's no
feel
immediate action to be taken.
It doesn't feel as feverish, I guess, and that bothered me. So I needed to play two different things at one time to create a artificial sense of like chaoticness, and that just like, which is weird because when I felt more like present, felt really, really like what you would consider anxious.
Oh.
When I cut the two things on and it was
He
chaotic,
just can't bring himself to
I
say it,
feel
can he?
much.
He just can't say it.
I
can
was
he?
I was
Say
anxious then.
Anxious
Yeah,
and
I was anxious
stressed.
then. No,
It's
no,
okay.
no.
This nigga got the biggest problem. Say that.
But no,
I've never seen you just.
He was-
flat
no,
say,
you
I'm
were-
stressed.
No,
and
I
I'm
wasn't
anxious.
stressed and anxious. I was anxious when I was more present today.
Mm-hmm.
Being present in the moment and not having any thoughts, that made me anxious. It was the lack of stress and the just like,
Yeah,
feeling
you're
like
so
you should
used
be
to
doing
running
something?
on something that when you don't have that to run on, it's like, well, who the fuck am I without it? That's a problem.
well, not
And-
who am I without it? It's just,
Well, you didn't
I
know what
should
to
be working
do.
on
oh no,
something
I
else.
did a lot of things that I just enjoy doing, but I just looked at them all as waste of times. That's exactly,
It's-
and that's a problem. So that's probably a problem. But like, I love playing Pokemon, so I did a lot of that. I made a couple of new decks. I've wrecked niggas, had a 9 streak, went to a tournament, wrecked the whole tournament. One like I've been doing things that like are just fun for me and enjoyable. But today, for some reason, I was just like, I'm really in the. But even yesterday, I was like thoughtful and thinking, and then today it was just like, it was like show day, and it was like, all right, nothing else is on the plate, and nothing.
Like, you
to-
already put in the work for the show today. There's nothing really to be done.
Yeah, and I guess that's what it was more of. Like, I woke up early. I worked on some other things. I watched some stuff for tomorrow. Like, normally I sleep into about noon, but I probably woke
But you
up
went to
at
sleep
like,
early on Saturday.
yeah, I went to sleep at like midnight, which doesn't sound early, but for me is,
That's up at 8, maybe 7.
no, I was up at 6:30. I don't know if I go to sleep anytime before 2:00 about 3:00 in the morning, I'm up at 6:30. Yeah. Because sometimes I'll be mad at myself when I go to bed at 2. I'm like, damn, I'm about to get 4 hours of sleep and get up at 6:30. God damn it. All right. And then,
All right.
and then I get up at 6:30 because that's just how my body is wired. But I don't know. It was weird. And that chaotic feeling gave me a sense of like things happening. And maybe that is what it is. I need to learn how to fully relax and recognize that, all right, you're allowed to take moments
Okay.
of rest once you've accomplished something, and recognize that, hey, you don't have the whirlwind of something being done. But I get where like people come from, where they're like, I was in a frenzy right before I put this out, because that's how I felt. And then like the day of like getting everything, when I like got the card to like start paying for things out of the business account to make to do it the way that I wanted to do, because I had the money. It was just like, no, but I need to talk to these people and to get this business account set up and then pay for it the correct way. It was just, I went full tilted. And then Charles saw me as soon as I was like, oh, that's how much color. Well, let me check the account real quick. And then I was like, oh, there's money. And then I just buy it now. And
Right.
it's just, there was just that there's an immediacy to me. And then as soon as there's nothing, then it was like, well, I've done everything I can do for the next thing, and I don't really feel like working on that right now. Like, I'm kind of tapped in that area, so I'm just like, all right.
Time to kick your feet up.
Yeah, and I don't think I like that.
It's just like, you kick your feet up. You lazy fucking bum. Get your feet down and go do something.
Yep, that is exactly what it is. Is if you don't put your feet back on the ground and get back to work, it's like, you know what, you right. I can 1-2 it again. You right. Let me 1-2. Here we go. But yeah.
Yeah.
But you,
Ash clearly is like, you need to
she does not
rest.
understand.
I understand. Like, I have a problem with relaxing as well, but I had to pull myself in that arena to get to this point. And you're not going to serve yourself in the best way possible if you keep thinking that somehow rest is the enemy. It's not going to work. I know you want it to work like that.
Oh, I don't think rest is the enemy. I don't want to feel anxious when I'm present. Like, I'm not looking for that, but I just recognize that this doesn't feel comfortable. So that's why I found like the artificial way to do it, because then I'm still not doing anything, but my
brain's being
brain is
satisfied.
my brain is still satisfied with multiple things because normally what's happening is, sure, there's a TV show on or something that I'm watching or some YouTube video to learn something, but I'm also thinking about, all right, well, this is what we got to do for here, or I'm thinking about this one of the stories that I'm working on. It's just a lot of extracurricular work happening inside of my head as I'm doing this one singular thing. But if that's not happening, then I just supplement with multiple things, and that's kind of like a rest for me. So I'm just got to be like quicker with that because most of today was until I cut the music on and started playing a show, and then that was I said, oh, this is perfect.
I walked into a complete and total other chaos. As far as my brain was concerned, it's just like, what the hell is this?
I recognized to Charles, like, Charles, I recognize that this is chaotic, but I need to reset myself because I just didn't feel the way I need to feel earlier.
It was like, can I start my work over here? Is this stuff for the thing? Yeah. Okay.
And then I immediately started playing it on the one TV. I was like, well, I'll just play it both here. They can come out of one speaker. That's fine.
But
as long as it's two different distinct sounds and conversations and things going on. But that's enough about me.
You know who else doesn't like getting something done?
Jim Carrey.
Venus Williams.
Oh, not Jim Carrey.
Not Jim Carrey.
Oh, I like Jim Carrey.
I like Jim Carrey too.
Hey, man, when I was 6 years old and I saw The Mask, I wrote that nigga a song, dude. I don't remember what the song is about, but I remember singing into like one of those little kid
about a mellow fiddle
about this nigga Jim Carrey, The Mask. I know his name's Stanley Ickes, and I was falling in love with him. But enough about me. What about
what about Venus Williams?
I'm not even gonna ask. I have so many questions.
Apparently, things came down the pipeline, and I guess she's still a virgin. I don't know if she actually officially came out. And
she said. Yeah, she said that she's waiting for marriage.
Okay. That's a real interesting thought process you had there. You like this international jet setter going all around the world. It's just like there's probably all types of dudes just hollering at you.
She's a Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
I feel like you can identify.
Oh. I loathe you. I loathe you.
So I just want to know, like, would you be okay with that?
Huh? I mean,
the long pause.
I told you. I already know. Charles doing it. Charles will do it. Charles wants you a nice, virginal, sweet,
not necessarily
Southern woman. Don't mean she ain't got nothing else going on, but you want her untouched and unscathed and yours for the rest of your life. Where you going, bitch? You can't upgrade out of this now, can ya?
Where going, bitch?
What's wrong with you?
You can't upgrade out of this now.
Necessarily that.
It's the first and last dick you getting.
And I'm not. Hey, I didn't pick this topic because of that, but when I found out that she was a virgin because she was a Jehovah's Witness, I was like, hey, this is an alley-oop for me and Charles.
It's like, I don't
look at the universe.
I don't
just swish it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It's hard to say.
I told you want it. You just don't want to admit it.
What?
You want it. It's okay. What? You want her to be a virginal.
You
not
want
necessarily, no. I don't think I don't particularly care because it's not. It typically just comes up in conversation.
You'll just like it. You'll like the fact that you gotta wait and then she just holding on to it for whatever reason she had in her mind, and then
would you date one?
Oh, what?
A woman that didn't want to have sex until she was married.
Oh,
you're such a gentleman, dude. You gonna wait?
I would, but it's also one of those things where it's just like
you need your dick sucked.
Well, no, it's not that.
Like, why you like
y'all
this?
house people over there? I'm gonna throw something over y'all.
Hey, I didn't say shit.
I said house people, plural.
But why
person.
I imply? Well, I know, but why
you started this conversation?
He did.
Like, I'm pretty sure this is Kai's toothbrush.
Man, don't be throwing things at me. It's rude. I didn't do nothing to you.
But what was I even saying? I was saying something.
That you would date a woman that is...
But it's also like you end up inside of... But it's also a very interesting situation because it's just like... They also have no idea what they actually want.
You gonna be there to show him, Charles. I told you the upgrade gonna be.
But that's that's the thing. It's just like
She gonna be on your time. Babe, can we have sex? Of course. She ain't gonna say no because she indebted to you. What she gonna say? You're like, I'm your husband. No, that's weird. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm saying
that's not really the relationship I desire to necessarily have.
you get to program her with your meat, okay?
What is wrong with you?
Ash is so vulgar. She's taking this. She said, you know what? She's worse than me. I haven't done nothing.
It's just like
I am the most polite person in this conversation.
it's just like you over here just
That's crazy.
but it's also like you don't know what you want. So now we have to go through this like giant exploratory phase, and the next thing you know, is just like, oh, well, you know what, babe? What, babe? I think I figured out I'm into vor. It's just like, yep, we just might have crossed at an interesting horizon that I wish I would have discovered before we got here.
I'm just saying.
So
It's like there's just things that I wish you knew ahead of time.
That's
So,
why you gotta
like, what do you want?
scratch.
So you're
Dude, what do I
saying
need?
no.
I need you to make sure you put 20 rings around the
Well-
noose before you hang me
Well,
from the ceiling.
realistically, if she's holding out for religious reasons, then there's only so far that she's going to go. It's not going to be like it involves other men or things like that. It'd be very monogamous based, which is you and her.
Yeah, that's what I told you. You could.
So
Y'all laugh all the time, and he just said what I said real fucking nice. You kidding?
sometimes it's the words to use, ass. Sometimes it's the words
You
to
said
use.
it real nice. Yeah, y'all
You
could
just
just
don't
take
want
it
a
slow
fucking
enough.
whore. It's just like
Oh, I didn't say it.
it's just like he wants. It will be very monogamy based.
He said
Because
it
she's
real pretty.
obviously a
That was
religious
cool.
person.
You know what I'm saying?
But
That's
the
why
weird,
he the writer.
But you know the
That's why
other
he
weird
wrote the
thing?
book.
I'm not terribly religious. So is that point we might not end up meshing based off that.
It's gonna be great.
She might have
man.
picked you because she feels like you have the altruistic characteristics that she's looking for in a man. Yeah.
It's
Actual
just like-
things that'll make a good father and like a husband. Like, oh yeah, I could
It's
totally
just
give
like,
my pussy to you for the rest of my life. I'm not.
Why do you act like
weird.
that is the sole thing we are here for?
What else we talking about? What we talking about? This bitch being a virgin. I
Yeah.
could get it. She looking for something else. Like, yeah, no, keep it to yourself, girlfriend.
So,
to with the husband.
Are you doing that?
What? Dave?
Hell yeah, you
waiting.
doing it.
Waiting to marriage?
Huh?
You waiting to marriage?
We've already been over this. For me?
Yeah.
Personally?
No.
Like, am I waiting till marriage? Well, that's no longer
so
physically
fucking
possible.
He
The
said wait
toothpaste
for-
is out of the
He
tube.
said for me. He said for me.
For me, nigga. For me, for me,
He
nigga. 009.
He said, wait,
She
nigga.
said just Charles. 009. Swain 3000. Nah, but it couldn't be me.
Yeah, not at all. He sounded offended about it. No,
I'm
nigga.
just terribly confused because it's like the
I
toothpaste can't go back inside the
the
tube.
For
You
me?
waiting on a woman who is a virgin to marry.
I mean, I could.
Nigga, yeah, everybody could do a lot of shit. What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean,
It don't
well, no,
count
there are some
as-
people who
Yeah,
just
Yeah, you
can't.
Yeah.
No, there are some people who just can't.
No, they say they can't, but they could.
It's like
just
they
don't want
could.
to.
Well, no, it's one of those things. Like as in I could. Am I going to actively try to get her to actually have sex with me? Even though I could wait, but if I could trick her, I would. No, I probably would actively try not to have her compromise her own like whatever morals that or underpinning that is based on.
Perfect. What did I tell you? You was gonna lay her down in the
But
fucking
you're
bed,
better than me.
rest her head, and just be like,
I already knew like you over there. You are.
He already knew you needed a hug. Damn.
It's just like you up. You over there.
It's a shot.
You out here like Conqueror
I
from
already
freaking.
knew that.
Like, I already knew that, nigga. She
You over
better
there like
come.
Conqueror,
She better
like,
come with her panties
please,
off to the
come on.
altar. What the fuck you talking
It's just like-
about?
I don't want to have sex until marriage. That is an untenable situation.
This nigga, we'll see about that.
I'll allow you to believe that
I mean,
until I happen to you.
That's so cruel.
I
Damn.
mean,
Stop.
that's not a lie, but it's not that it's the truth either. It's more
Nuance.
yeah, like
She always say that, but it
I'm
never
going
happens.
to engage with you on the level that you engage with me on. And then when you say you don't want to do anything, I would be like, cool. And then if you like also then re-engage with things, I'm gonna be like, well, I guess you changed your mind.
I'm gonna allow you to make the decisions that you want and the time that you want to make them.
Yes.
You chose to sacrifice this as long as you don't come back around and be like,
That's hilarious. Oh, this hurt, man. Hold on, wait. Hold on. Let's get this fucking straight. You get to put your dick all in her fucking mouth, fucking caress her all sorts of ways, hella foreplay, and then be like, "Oh, baby, this was your choice, sir. You done aroused my body from head to toe." So it was her choice.
well, depending upon the state of your
Time out,
toes,
time
probably
out.
not so tough.
If my
Nah.
dick was not the first dick in your mouth, then yes, it was your choice.
That's true.
Also, with
Because you've engaged with these things before and said no.
my biggest question is
So
like,
the fact that you engaged with me with them and said yes,
you know what this
You
was?
are it.
I'm the thing that you decided that I'm the one that you want to do this with. Because you got to this place, I would assume, with other people if you were putting their dick in your mouth.
Uh-oh.
And you told them no to getting some vagine. So
Also, the very interesting conversation if that does happen and you are with a person who like wanted to wait till marriage, a lot of the times there comes like this random back pressure of like, well, we're gonna get married, and that might lead me to scurry.
Could I do it with the dude that wanted to wait till marriage?
Ash, don't lie. Your face. You
I don't
said
understand why you broached that
Somebody
situation.
on business.
because your face is.
Y'all,
It's like we do a podcast together. So.
This is the way you just puckered your face. I was like, ew, why would that nigga
you
even
might
ask
as
me
well.
that?
Am I not good enough?
Like,
I
why?
can change
What are
that.
we doing then? We just holding hands and looking at each other?
Because there's no.
We spending hours doing that?
Also,
So we
like,
finish eating and we watching a movie.
are you up here?
Gotta go home.
And
No, wait. All right.
You not gonna touch my titty?
Tom.
You don't want me to caress your dick.
Just a
So
nice
we
little,
just sit here.
it's a nice little pet.
We
And
gon-
don't let it be hard,
So we
nigga.
gonna
Oh
hold
my
hands?
God. Hold on.
Man,
You out here?
I almost told a very inappropriate story. It's no one's business. I'll just keep that to myself. But anyway, yeah, continue. Yeah, Ash. Wow, you can't do that. Look at no, you don't want that. You don't want that. The faces you're making, you know you don't want that.
I'll try.
And like I said, I respect it as much as they do. It's like you tell me that, but if you're like being sexual with me, then cool. And if you say I don't want to be sexual anymore, then cool. And then you go back to being sexual, then cool.
It's like you're the person who's going real hot and cold on this.
I'm going to just allow you to run the gambit of what you say you want to do.
I don't know what you said on mic, so I'm gonna
No.
shut up.
I'm
Now,
just trying to think of what the
I don't-
circumstances would be. Like, is he religious? Because I probably wouldn't do it if you're religious. Because then them niggas want you to go to church and shit.
You wouldn't be there to begin with.
Bruh. So no, I can't do it for that.
Like,
If
I
it-
can't do it for hyper religious reasons. There's certain things that I just don't. Also, where does this is an interesting variable question. Where does losing your virginity actually lie? It's just like, is it strictly vaginal intercourse?
Yeah, you a
I think
throat
so.
goat?
Are you out? Are you taking it everywhere?
Stop.
Are you taking it everywhere else and then just being like, I am a virgin. I am pure as white snow. No, it's just like,
Tony, like virgins suck the best.
it's like, Charles, don't be out here tipping people to the game. Don't be telling them they're not a virgin if they out here giving out the other stuff.
But
What are they
I
called?
had
Head monsters.
I had a virgin. Remember, I told y'all the story about the virgin in Seattle that didn't want to do anything but suck my dick, like, and would just wait for me to hit her up. Like, we was kind of friends, so we would talk maybe once a quarter on just random shit. But other than that, I would just be like, well, what are you doing? Yeah, you trying to, da-da-da. Yeah, I'm at work, but you can come by and I'll take a break and we can do it in the parking lot. You sound like my type of person.
Well, alrighty then.
All right, dear.
I've never had sex. But, all right. That's cool. Years later, that's when she told me no. What happened is, we had sex. Years later. You took my virginity. Bitch, what?
It was just like,
Yeah, that's how we had sex. I was a virgin before that.
You didn't say anything?
So
This
you
is
just
a
want to
monumental
suck my
what
moment.
about all the oral sex? That counts as sex.
But I didn't even care about that. It's just like, so you just been sucking my dick this entire time and decided that I was going to be the nigga to take your virginity randomly. All right. And then it was just back to dick sucking because I wasn't really super interested in fucking you or anything like that. So yeah, no.
Pure laziness.
It was, yes, but I would say virgins definitely give the best head. Out of like,
Well, they got to keep people around for somehow.
nah. Like,
The practice
out
they
of
getting somewhere else.
the 3 virgins I've slept with, 2 of them are in the top 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely in the top 3. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay.
Might be 1 and 2. Yeah, shit.
Woo.
But I
All
guess
right now.
I guess 41-year-old Venus Williams.
No, I think
She
it's
might
good
be a
that
hair
she
monster
kept it.
too.
No, yeah, I think it's
Oh,
good
my
that she kept
goodness.
it because sometimes you be just be thinking, is this
Hey,
shit
you imagine
overrated?
how tight her shit is?
That
she
is a
play-
conversation for you niggas.
She play all the sports and be working out, and it's just been like a time count.
But
It's
she
like,
also 40 though.
yeah, so she spraying chicken horny now. Y'all get horny in your 40s?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just question how wet she's going to be. Because I don't know. Have you ever seen a situation where like, oh, you're older, started up?
Oh, I mean,
Nah.
it may just take longer for the engine to warm up, but I guess once it gets
Right.
there.
No.
I don't know.
I have heard of problems of such.
Yeah, that stuff happens.
I like I said, I don't. That's why I did it. I don't know. I don't know. I can't confirm. I was like, I don't really know about that, to be honest. And
So, all
Just
right.
tip
So
it in
say
the
that'd
you're
why?
be trash if you all horny. You got fucking desert vagina.
tight and dry.
That shit. Would you fist a girl?
Oh my God.
I mean, probably not, but also I have a very large fist, Tony.
They can put out a whole baby. What
I know.
are you talking about?
But that
If
doesn't
this
mean
isn't
it's
big-
not going to be.
No, if your fist isn't bigger
Also,
than
my
the baby,
fist is actually might, depending upon the baby.
That big ass
my
fist.
fist might actually be bigger than the
it's
baby
not.
head.
It's not bigger than the entire baby.
Not the entire baby, but if it's
Nice
larger
baby head.
The
You got a
shoulders of the
baby head
baby
on his
are
arm.
broader. You're
I
not.
know that's always the widest
So,
part.
yeah, so you're not wider than that.
But it's just like, oh,
And then you
that
probably
feels.
wouldn't start like this. You'd probably start his fingers and then make
Work
a
your
fist
way up.
inside. Yeah, well, you wouldn't just start punch a bitch in the pussy. Like, that's wild. Like the fact that you just started off with like fucking. What's that nigga's name? God, I want to call his name. Oh my God, he does a snap.
Oh my God. Thanos?
Yeah, like motherfucking Thanos in this bitch. Yeah, no, you can't do that. But I feel like you could work your way up to it. But no, the fact that you start off with the fist. Nigga,
it's just like-
no, we're not punching bitches in the pussy. No.
Just have it
Oh,
on
well,
your
it's
No.
never escalated to that degree.
I mean, me neither. I was just curious.
It was just like, I hate you sometimes. I fucking loathe your existence. You out here making me feel like you're the weirdo for not being
You
willing to do
not
it.
put your old fish in the bitch.
It's just like,
That's what we do Saturday nights. Nigga, you don't chill
I didn't
out.
say that. I just asked a question.
Yeah, because he really sat there like, did you fist her?
I was curious.
Because it's like I already
his
have
fisty's over
like
here, nigga. They
really
call me
long.
fisty.
I already have really long fingers as it is,
No, I'm no.
so it's just like
I mean, I guess we can move on to.
I gotta get my workout gloves.
Back to Serena and.
What?
Oh, I'm starting to get like. I was looking at my hand. It's like, I have like calluses right here. That's untenable. One of my sticks is my hands are always softer than most of the women that I run
he's
into.
trying to roughen up, huh?
Yeah, that's not acceptable. I can't be striking latches on my hands.
He don't like to wear his gloves at the gym.
And them tough hands.
I
got
do.
a pair of
I
gloves
don't
that I
mind.
don't use.
I actually
one
just
of
have to get actual workout gloves.
I got a
have
pair in
work
my
gloves.
car. If you'd like some, because I didn't use them for when I started to have my pull-up journey, and then I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore. So you can have them. I'll just buy my own pair and keep them ready.
Do you think they'll be big enough for me?
I usually get men's like extra large or large, so you can try them on when I go to my
Probably
car.
is too small for me, but I'll
Oh,
try
really?
it.
You don't like.
I'm like a 2XL.
You don't. Why you on the pull-ups?
No, I do, but then I just stopped. And I'm like, dang, they just sitting in my car. So instead of me just being like one day, somebody need them. So I'm like, I'll just spend another $10 to get them again when I'm ready.
Oh, it's on the list of things to get. I gotta do an Amazon order anyway, so it means I might as well get my new Fitbit strap and some workout gloves.
Yeah, I'll help you out. If you
And
want to
then-
try them and they don't fit, then I'll just have a pair of gloves. If not, then I'll just spend
Like
$10 to get
and
some
then
more.
I can really get into my deadlift bag because like the problem is certain thing like particularly deadlifts tear the skin on my fingers, and that gives me calluses. But other than that, there isn't much else that really gets me because everything at the gym has these like checkered like textured setup. So yeah. Anywho, speaking of tennis, congratulations to Rafa Nadal. He won his 21st major.
Congratulations.
And that's the current men's
Imagination.
record. The women's record is 23 by Serena Williams, which is the sister of who is obviously not a virgin because he had a kid, unless he literally somehow like
Virgin Mary?
Yeah.
I did the surrogate thing, but whatever. Anyway.
And yeah, that's a possibility. But anywho,
Nikola Jokic sneaking
Yeah,
into
but-
his own country.
well, Jokic is at 20, but he was not allowed to play this time because he basically tried to smuggle himself in because he didn't want to pay attention to COVID regulations, which is the second year in a row that he's done this.
Also, he just
Which
be
country?
sneaking himself into Australia.
Australia has pretty strict COVID guidelines for when you're coming in from outside. Because they've actually been able to keep it pretty much under wraps, kind of like New Zealand did. But that's also because they were heavy-handed from the beginning. And he just be like, can I not be in quarantine for 14 days? I really don't want to do this. It's like, I don't want to sit in a hotel room for 14 days. And I don't want to have to pay for this. You're going to a tennis tournament to play for millions of dollars, but I don't want to do this. So I'm going to break myself out. And then they kicked
Swag.
him out the country. And it's just like, and then he tried to file a lawsuit in Australian court. It's just like, I should be allowed to play this. And then they immediately like threw that shit out and said leave. And now he's trying to contest the 3-year ban and being banned from the country for 3 years.
His own home?
No, that's not his home. He's not from there. He's from Serbia.
Oh, okay.
It's just like he came in there from someplace else to try and play in their tennis tournament and then didn't want to follow their rules and then got upset about it.
Tough, but
It's just like, I want to quit playing this tennis tournament and make millions of
They
dollars.
cut that white privilege right off.
I mean, their existence. All right. I mean, Australia is just an interesting case in the world because it's a prison colony and there were a bunch of black people there. So that means they showed up, told these Aboriginals, this is a British prison colony now, but we live here.
So do these criminals.
Take these criminals, bitches.
That's
funny
gangster.
so do these criminals.
Yeah.
And then they show up and be like, this is
The
our
Aboriginals
country.
looking
You have to
around
listen
like,
to
damn,
us.
that shit ghetto. But then that kind of implied like somebody was just, damn, I don't know. I'm not gonna bring that up. Not today.
It's just like, Jesus Christ, can y'all leave, please? Like, y'all the British people, no guns, colonization. Don't tell them that you have no guns. I'm convinced that in America, that's the reason why we got all the guns, because we're still terrified of being recolonized. But in any event, so do you think they were going overboard in Australia or what?
I mean, no. I feel like this. Unless you make enough to make the rules or have enough power to make the rules, then you got to play by the rules. How you feel about those rules don't really matter. Them's the rules. So you can either play the game, cheat the game, or not play. But it's those three. The niggas that's playing the game and mad about the rules, y'all can stop playing. Y'all don't want to do that.
I mean, he's the only tennis player who really has this much of a problem, because everyone else, like Federer.
Oh no, I was bringing this to just broadly and just
I figured that, but
the COVID,
like the game, period. The game is everything.
Yeah,
the game is anything where you don't have the significant enough power to really change anything.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it that, what is this compliance thing so relevant? Why is compliance right now just so in trend? Why is rebellion becoming more and more taboo to talk about?
Oh.
No, I think people should rebel if they want to rebel. But niggas don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. Niggas want to complain about it. That's not rebellion. That's conversation. Rebellion is taking the power from the people that have it, and now you got it, and then you're changing shit. So then again, you go back to my first thing. Have the power to change it. Y'all niggas don't seem willing to rebel for real, to take any of the power from the niggas that y'all say are oppressing, enslaving, and holding y'all down. Mm-hmm. Y'all want to use their systems to fight them. We're going to take them to court. Cool. So use the system that they created. All right, so you still playing their game.
Right.
So when y'all done playing their game and y'all really want to do something, then I respect it. But until then, it's like, well, we want to use all of y'all systems and things, but we want y'all to do it the way that we said. That's not how things work. If you want people to do what you said, you make them. That might sound rude or cruel, but that's the truth. In America, you're made to put on a seatbelt or you'll get a ticket. You're made to go the speed limit. You're made to get a fucking birth certificate. You're made to register your child for school and or subscribe to whatever state standards there are if you decide to homeschool your child. But you will be made to do lots of things.
There are certain social things that you opt into for the convenience of being inside of this particular area.
Not for the convenience.
Well, yeah.
It was touted for the convenience in the beginning, and that's what people say to smooth over. This is for the control of those who decided this is how things should go. We want things to run like this because this perpetuates our control. If you want things to go differently, then you should change them. How we talk about the Europeans going up to people's land and being like, all right, y'all used to live a completely different way, but now this is a prison. And they said, no. And they said, but yeah,
we
it's
keep
a prison.
dropping off prisoners here, and y'all don't.
And they said,
y'all can't do anything about
and they
it.
said, I said it was
It really didn't even slap them around. They
And
just
they said,
kept
you know
dropping
what?
random white people prisoners there, and it's just like, well, what are we gonna do with them?
Hey, but they've slapped around quite a bit of other people and said,
Good
you know what,
portion
but
of Africa,
this is ours.
America.
Y'all gonna operate the way we want to. Hey, China, we're gonna take Beijing. No, Hong Kong.
Yeah, it was Hong Kong.
Hey, China, we're gonna take Hong Kong. And they're gonna operate like us. We know y'all communists, but that ain't got nothing to do with us for real.
This is the cause for us bailing you out.
We gonna do this.
Because honestly, if we didn't show up, Japan was gonna take your whole country.
Hey, India, come on up over here. You
Run them
ours.
spices.
All that you got. But they changed the way other people operate through force and power and set things up the way that they are now. And the way that they force people to be in the house is because, I would say most likely it's because they want you to be comfortable with the shift into mandates of staying in the house. But that's also why they're creating one, they're forcing you, but they're also making it easier for people to opt into it. Everything it can be delivered, sent to you, shipped to you. You don't have to leave home. And then now with virtual reality, you can go to the games and everything like that. There's no real reason that you have to leave your house. So I would say that they're probably moving towards that as a thing in just society, like for all people across the globe. It's probably easier to control people if y'all don't leave the house. So it's just stricter and stricter mechanism of control. But my thing is, if y'all don't want to be controlled, y'all really got to just actually like.
That's what scares me the most is it's just like, damn, everybody just allowing this to happen under the guise of safety. But y'all not really putting in what's really going to have a long-term benefit instead of being so scary now. Y'all just so worried about, well, I don't want to get sick and I don't want to be with the signature of the sickness. Yeah, but what long-term effects is this having on people? Y'all don't give a fuck.
You can't vet long-term effects until you have long-term studies. So like saying what like asking what we can ask the question, but we're not going to be able to verify it until we later on down the line see
the
it.
Question with this stuff. It's just no, this is what it is, which I get. No, I probably don't understand, and I'll never understand that shit. But in terms of like having control over people, I understand. But it just seems like I understand. Don't nobody want to rebel? Of course, that would knock you off your powers. That would knock you off of your power if you have somebody in a rebellion. But it's happening so much more, like to the point where just people are just numb to it. It seemed like, or.
Well, yeah, I would say that what people have gotten really bad at and what the powers that be have gotten really good at is understanding their opponent.
Yeah.
The powers that be in olden times used to be really, really cruel with their power because, hey, I can be. That led to a lot of revolutions.
Yeah.
You know what you learn after doing something so many times? Maybe if I dress and gussy this up a little bit, y'all motherfuckers might swallow these pills a little if I, one, do it a little slower, and two, make y'all feel a little bit better about them happening. And we've been slow walked into being inept in these things. No one wants to rebel because everybody is like, oh, rebellion leads to bloodshed. And you have the people that even point out that are supposed to be our intellectuals that'll point out all the fallacies that exist inside of society, but they will never articulate how we probably should move into rebellion as a justifiable means of correcting the situation. It's always using the levers that exist and that have been given to us by the power system that exists, which is like, so we're going to use this system that exists to correct the system that exists. All right, y'all have fun with that. I'm going to just operate in the system, find the cracks and maneuvers, and play the game the way that they really play it. Not the way that y'all tell me we should play it if we're going to play the game, because that way that y'all play is playing to lose or playing to stay in a circle. So I'm going to play the way that they play because that makes the most sense, and none of y'all are about shit. Because, yeah, no, I think all the flip-flopping of, like, me getting the vaccine don't mean shit to me. Mm-hmm. Like, part of me was like, why'd I do that? And the other part of me was like, well, I did that because I wanted to go get this thing. Do I regret getting it? No. Especially since it seems like if you don't go get these boosters and shit like that, that should just piss out your system.
Wow.
Well,
it just don't seem like, so if you get the vaccine or if you don't get the vaccine, or no, if you get the vaccine and then get boosters, well, what was the point of me getting this fucking vaccine?
Yeah, no, I'm not getting any of those boosters. I got this card.
I don't understand it.
This card better let me into places.
And now all of a sudden.
And if it don't, then that's cool. But I don't get the flu shot. And so what I've now transitioned the COVID booster in my mind and mentality is, this is the flu.
And that's what they started flip-flopping and saying.
Not
COVID
once.
would turn more into an endemic and it'll be more like the seasonal flu. Now all of a sudden the antibodies that's in your bodies are more than enough to protect you. All this shit that we were saying in the first place is now becoming truth. And I'm very confused. And I'm like,
Well, you didn't have any antibodies against this to begin with. So if someone's saying that you have the antibodies to begin with to actually defend against it doesn't make any sense because this is the first time you've been exposed to it.
can't be because there's been like disinfectants and shit to kill this kind of virus before, right?
Different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's already been verified and vetted. That's just kind of sensationalism that's carried that through.
But even then, all the stuff that people were saying in the first thing has now somehow shifted. Like, only a certain amount of people can get it, and it's more at risk. They're flip-flopping, and I don't understand.
I would
mean-
say this. I don't think that... I'm not mad at people for flip-flopping.
Yeah, because I knew already in the beginning, like I said, it's always some sensationalized sickness going on for real. Have I ever seen it at the scale? No. But there is always going to be something. So in the beginning, yeah, my fucking feathers was ruffled. But after I just dealt with it a little, like even with 9/11, things have definitely changed. And the post 9/11 world, even with TSA, is probably never going back to the way it once was. And things might not go back to the way it once was after this one. But it don't never stay the same. It's always an ebb and flow. So I had to keep that in perspective too.
Well, yeah. I mean, I agree with that there's an ebb and flow to things. I just don't have an issue with people flip-flopping more because
Situations change.
that, yeah.
Like,
And for all intents and purposes, to be honest, I think that the powers that be aren't the political people. I'll say that. And so I'll say that probably a vast majority of what's happening is new and surprising to them. And since they're just mostly talking heads without a lot of depth and
I see what you mean.
information to themselves, they don't have a choice but to flip flop back and forth because they
And say it, yeah.
they just getting whatever's coming to them and just
I can see
spitting it
that.
out. And so I feel like when people get upset at them for doing that, it's because you've given them power to inform you.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for them to be the ones to give you correct information, you've lost. They don't know shit.
I mean,
These niggas study politics to become politicians. What the fuck is that? Not shit.
yeah, I mean, most listening to Sarah Palin or any politician speak about any kind of medical issue is quintessentially useless.
I would say the Romans and the Greeks had it right. The people that they had in their caucus were actually fucking scholars and intellectuals that knew shit about shit. Said, oh, you're learned and a very learned man and you've read and you're arithmetic
understand.
and you understand science and all these things. Come and speak about how our society should go and these things. But we say,
Speak on what you know.
let's just figure out people that do this as a career.
Let's have career politicians, and the entire thing is they built things up.
Yeah,
And-
all you do is talk and say, hey, I use this system and I was here and I was good enough to get these people to vote for me and I was the mayor of this place. So what you told me is you were charming enough to convince this group of people to vote for you, so I should vote for you. Suck my dick.
Like some people who do become presidents or senators were lawyers and things like that before, like prior to that. So that means they do understand laws to a certain degree, but it's
And
just
even
like,
that's bullshit. For the most part, being a lawyer is a very broad term. What were you a lawyer of? What specific branch of law did you study?
well, it can vary.
Because-
Criminal justice, business law.
Yeah,
Yeah, but in the
Technology
beginning,
law.
to become a lawyer,
the
it's
fact
real
that there's-
blanket.
But the fact that there's so many nuances means that you might know a little bit about some bullshit that don't really mean nothing in all these other areas. So sure, you were a lawyer that became a politician.
But I will also say that becoming a lawyer demonstrates the fact that you can probably learn about a particular issue and you're more likely to be able to educate it as opposed to a career politician who your entire thing was, I went to Harvard. I studied politics. I went from studying politics to being a politician. I worked on
some campaigns,
and I went from being like an understudy to being the person who was running and yada yada yada. I ran multiple places, and I can say I did a good job because nobody's really going to look into it.
I feel like unless you were a lawyer that was a lawyer and did some lawyering, not just one that got a law degree and then went into politics and was like, yeah, I got this, and now I was a
master's DA for a certain amount of time, or I practiced law for such and such amount of time.
Yeah, I need you to have actually like done some things. So then, yeah, you're learning in the way of actual experience, because realistically, just knowing the law in a theoretical sense is really useless, because a lot of our law, especially out here, it's built upon precedent and what's happened before, but it's also living. And so what somebody else does affects what can be done.
It's all very interconnected.
Other people can interact with the law. Yeah, like that's why certain big cases, depending on what courthouse they're being held in, other people are interested in that court, because them making decisions sets precedent for all the lower courts in that area. So if you've gone through that and you've engaged with that and you recognize, all right, I've learned some shit, then maybe. But these politicians be flipping back and forth because they don't know shit. They don't know shit.
It's like even if 20%, even if 20% of them were learned, that's probably not a good enough number when you need way more than that.
Yeah, because
and then you young on top of that, because usually what you get out, maybe you closer to 30 or some shit like that. You just getting your ears wet for real.
like the earliest you can get done with your law degree is typically about
a career politician.
25, 26. And you can't really start running for the... And I think you can run for House at 30?
Yeah, like you can't... You just now getting... Like I said, you just now getting your ear wet. Like after 25, right? That's when we start agreeing your brain just stops or fully developed.
That's when
you're
fully developed.
Or whatever. And then we can already see now a whole bunch of 20-fucking-year-olds. They really ain't mature in that sense. They still big-ass teenagers with fucking drinking licenses. Like,
I mean, honestly, I would rather have young people in politics than the old people that we got now.
I mean, don't think that you should be allowed to be in politics for as long as these people are.
I don't think you should be allowed to do it post 65. Once you hit retirement age, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like I feel like it should be a very cyclical. I feel like you should be right in that like youth of yourself. So probably 40s to like 50, maybe 55, and that's pushing it. But you got to get out.
Dead random.
But
yeah,
you can
and then
do
that's
about
where you
10
should
years
move
in
up
there.
to something else.
To
where your wisdom now is cultivated pretty well, because you know you're not about to change. You should move on to something else, like guiding the younger people to say, hey, in my experience, this happened here. And you just be that guidance counselor guiding these young people.
Yeah, but
it's not like
get the fuck out the way.
You shouldn't be controlling the society anymore.
Because like I actively thought about it. You know, if someone sneezed real hard in Congress, it's possibility it could move through here like a fucking plague wind and get like 70% of y'all.
I'm not a big person on just casting away old people. I think we need to really stop doing that shit. That shit is terrible.
I think that they could,
but
like
they can have useful somewhere.
There's some wisdom in there, even if it's to analyze them and just be like, you know what?
Yeah, but don't nobody want to learn from each other for real. For real, it's just this is my way and that's it. No.
I mean, I will look at someone and evidence say, you know what I learned? What not to do.
Because they want to be just as useful. That's why they stay in office until well past they prime or when they can. Like, how scary do you think it is to just be discarded like that? Like, that can't be a very good feeling.
What, you think they're holding on to their relevancy?
Yeah, like what? You still have a certain amount of power, like I hate to say it, but like if Tony get up to that age when he's 65 and he having this problem now where resting is something that makes him, for lack of a better word, uncomfortable. How do you think like a 65, think the man that's just as like, what's that word I want to say?
Minded?
High strung. There we go. Somebody's just as high strung and that really don't go nowhere for real in the sense that we think it do. and then somebody just tell them, well, you just done.
No, I'm
He's
gonna
a-
find shit at 65 to do. That's why
Yeah.
I believe in like ownership and like doing my own thing. Because you don't get to tell me that. Oh well,
You just
you're
done, but
done.
yeah, you want a medal? Like, how insulting is that to these people in office? Like,
Senatorial
what they did.
retirement medal. Get the fuck out.
yeah, like
You
I don't
sit
know what
inside
they
this
did or sacrificed
overtime-
to get to that point, but I'm pretty sure like you have something to give back and you are useful in some way.
What did I
'cause
sacrifice?
At
My
least you got at
dignity and
least
respect.
hopefully maybe 20, 30 more years, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I just don't think that y'all should be the ones
I don't think
that
y'all
are
should
like
be dropping dead in office.
No, I don't care about that. I don't think y'all should be the decision makers of society because y'all are out of touch. Y'all have moved into a space that is no longer inside of just being outside of the grind of like, damn, I remember when I had to do that. Y'all are far
you're
removed
not
of y'all
in the
30s.
trenches
Y'all
no
are
more, bud.
30 years removed from your 30s.
I don't think people who are not going to be around to see the fruitions of the decisions that they're making should be making decisions for other people
Well,
who are.
Well, for me, that's not the biggest crux. It's y'all don't understand how society operates now. If you are 60 years old, you're 30 years removed from your 30s.
Right, because you came in
You
with them
don't
ideals
know
at 30.
What the fuck is going on with 30-year-olds right now? You don't have any concept of that. That's a problem. That's why, like, your
Right.
health, because niggas could drop dead at 40, 45. So health and dropping dead can't be like my main concern. My main concern has to be how you're going to steward society, and that you can't steward society because you out of touch with what society is now.
Right, niggas
The
didn't have
society
cell
that you
phones
had
or
is-
microwaves. You couldn't just pop a thing in when you was going
Me and my
on.
grandmother
But
argue about that all the time. She be telling me about how things go, and I was like, Grandma, that's how it was 30, 40 years ago when you were doing it. I was like, she's like, yeah, this is a really good company. You worked for them 40 years ago. You don't know what they're doing right
yeah,
now.
like you come in with them same. She's just still stuck on her same ideas that
Yeah,
was
like,
then. You
I
can't
worked for
really-
University Hospital for years. They're monsters. It's just like,
And maybe they wasn't. You were right. Maybe they wasn't when you was around.
oh, well, like
But
whenever I
something
talk
has
about
changed.
whenever I talk about anybody or I talk about any individual company, it's just like, no, we figured out all these people are pretty trash for the most part. And we have no, my entire generation has no loyalty to any company because they really ain't out here for us. It's not like the olden days where Jim is your supervisor and he's been the supervisor for you for basically your entire 20-year stint. And you get to retire and you get your retirement money and your pension. Motherfucker, that was the wildest thing. It's like my grandfather, he retired twice as a lumber worker. It was a part of the union. And somehow they sold his life insurance policy without telling my grandmother. It's just like, excuse me?
That's
We were supposed to
terrible.
have money here. Well, you
Yeah.
get some money,
But you can get all of it?
but he retired once and then came back and
Yeah.
retired again. Because my grandfather didn't know how to do anything else but work. It's just like,
That's what all them niggas were fucking before 1980 something. God
like he
damn.
retired, decided he didn't like not working, went
And
back
then
to work.
back in.
It's because he didn't own the policy.
Yep. That's
It's a
what
policy in his name, but the
Technically,
company
it's technically
is-
from within the union, and
Yeah.
the union has the
capacity
ability.
to shift it over to another housing entity if they
That's
want
some
to.
scary
Yeah, no, that's
shit.
why I don't fuck with companies because they're all garbage.
That is some scary
These
shit.
niggas
Yo,
can
you
suck
over here
dick.
looking at
That's
your
what-
husband going, you like, well, at least I got the $100,000, my
Oh no, it wasn't some demonstrable amount. He did that twice. I think they were originally a plan. It was just like there should have been more than enough to pay for everything for the funeral and then
Yeah.
some more than likely. I'm not gonna say that because I was originally thinking like 150,000 or something like that,
It
and
don't
it's just
matter.
like nope,
I'm
it's
looking-
gone.
It's gone. What you
Why-
gonna do about it?
It's
Like,
just like
that's some scary shit. That didn't scare our parents enough to be like, oh, no, I need something else.
They didn't know. How would they know if it just
the
happened?
companies weren't like that back then.
Oh,
They
yeah.
just didn't
Right.
randomly do it. My grandfather retired another 20 years ago.
Well, realistically, no. What I mean is, your parents didn't have the opportunity to see that because it just happened to his grandfather now.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's how you trick back. There you go.
Like,
So
And
crushing.
there's the trick.
our parents'
Here's the
generation
bag.
weren't
Go on.
as
You walk on
loyal,
it.
and we just have no loyalty. It's just like, don't you have any loyalty to the company? Yo, if I was on fire, I wouldn't trust you to go get a bucket and put me out.
Bruh.
Fuck you for real.
That's
What-
so scary.
Do you know that company down the street? They offer me $3 more an hour. You go match that company loyalty. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mm-mm.
Jim, don't act like don't talk about company loyalty. I heard about you planning on moving on to a new job in 6 months, Jim. You're just trying to look good. You're just trying to look good.
Yeah, I think you just start learning that from your jobs in the beginning. Like, you don't really give a fuck about the nuances of who I am, do you? All right, but
You don't like me.
you don't know me. You don't make me tick.
I am just a thing that fulfills this role inside of a very good capacity, and you are upset that you are losing this cog in this machine.
You know what's crazy?
Didn't you even get another one?
I didn't
don't
even-
give a fuck.
I didn't get to learn that until I left Home Depot for real.
Mm.
That was a bizarre
That was a fucking
situation you had
circus,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, and so everybody, but they all like,
We actually look out for each
yeah,
other.
that we all looked out for each other and cared about each other. Like if I didn't have lunch money and shit like that, since I'm the young one, I could go to someone like, can I get $5? And they gonna hold me down because I'm 18 and he's probably not the most responsible with money.
Like, look
He's
at
a
him.
child.
What'd you spend your money
I don't
on?
know.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Probably Yu-Gi-Oh cards, another dumb shit. What are you talking about? Like,
Dumb shit, nigga.
It's
Yeah.
just like, bro,
I
you
barely
work-
got gas in the car. But
I'm
But
here,
I come to
though.
work every day. You see me. You know I'm working hard. They say, all right,
like, you worked 50 hours last week. Where did the money go?
tickets and speeding. You know, I'm out here. I'm being a young, dumb, reckless kid. But they cared about me in a way that I will say no other business would. And it was specifically them, like, to the point, like I said, like, there was a point where people were getting hired because just how minimum wage was that were now making more than me. I was like, hey, I don't like that. And so they were like, all right, we got you. You can't quit as we hire you because we can't rehire you at full time. They won't let us do that. You don't want to lose your full time status. But they had something called Home Rewards. Every 3 of them you get an extra $50 in your check. They would just give me the bitches like candy to the point where I reached platinum, where everybody in the store had to, like, we had a little morning meetings where I got a little recognition for that, got a Home Depot watch and everything. But the reason they were giving them to me was, all right, you need some extra money in your checks. These niggas is making more here. You gonna get more hours than them, and we gonna get $30 to $50 for these just random things. Here you go. Every time, here's a home reward. Here's a home reward. Here, like, I doubled platinum like 2 or 3 times, tripled it. It was great, but that showed, all right, I recognize that no, you guys don't have the power to just give me a raise because all you niggas are middle management for real. But y'all are trying to do something.
Y'all actually
We
care
care. Yeah.
in some capacity.
Yeah, and doing what y'all can. And like, y'all probably shouldn't be giving me home rewards like this. I know that this is not how Home Depot wants this system to be used. But y'all are like, we
But
got
we're
you.
also making so much money to the point where they don't care.
Yeah, no, it was a great time to be at Home Depot. So I didn't recognize like what working for like shit people was. Even when I moved to California, like, 'cause I stayed at Home Depot, and even though like I almost got fired in the beginning, it was touch and go, and that was kind of my fault. Like, I was used to being the golden child of Home Depot and doing whatever the fuck I wanted and kind of just be like, whatever. And you can't go to a brand new building and
Be the
And-
gold child.
bring that energy. You've proved nothing, sir. So
What do you mean by prior
What
work
do you
doesn't mean
mean?
anything?
Yeah.
That didn't happen here.
yeah,
Ooh, you're right. Didn't
yeah.
logistically think that one through.
Not at all. So I had to like rectify that. But even in that situation, me and my manager, like not the main assistant manager for nights, we were pretty sure that nigga was doing coke. But all of everybody else up under him, the department head for nights and everybody else, we used to get drunk together. We used to smoke weed. I used to take my department head home. That's when I had the Hennessy and orange juice combination. We would smoke. I would drink the Hennessy and orange juice. Like I told you, I had a bad relationship with liquor at that time as well. But yeah, no. These were my boys. Like we was kicking it and going out and everything like that. It was just a wonderful time. So I never got the real experience until I went to the Air Force. And I was like, oh, this is how niggas treat you
Everywhere else?
You can suck my dick. How about that? How about all of you can suck dick and I'm never doing this again? Eat my ass.
It was pretty much when I was working at Minchie's. I was just kind of sitting around like, y'all all suck.
See, Minchie's, I didn't really get that feeling because I was a lawless vagrant because they took all of our management to go open the other stores. So that mean the people that were shift supervisors became like store managers. We got keys. We were opening the store. We were putting the money in the safes. We had the codes.
I mean, I got to that point too, but it was also just one of those things where it's just like at the store I was at, like, that's why I figured out like women really don't like each other.
My mom said that shit all the time. She just be like, I hate women. And I'm like, damn, what they doing
Well,
to you?
no, it was just like, it was the most cliquey institution ever. A girl I was kind of dating was also at my store. And then they called me over there because they had let her go because they overhired people because they were being dumbasses. And it's just like, oh, well, we let her go and we're all scared of her. Like, what do you mean? She's like the skinny bittiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Why are y'all scared of her? It's just like, she just talks to us really loud. Jesus Christ. Y'all are all bundled up back here. Being terrified. Ugh. One of the Vals, or Val. Her round face ass. Ugh. I can't stand women who don't have at least some angles on their face. Just like,
What?
her face was a circle.
First was it like a moon?
It's just
You got
like,
the moon
well,
eyes, that
there's
was
also
bad.
other things I can't stand. I can't stand when you see a person in profile and their forehead and then their face dips in and their face is like a crescent moon.
I used to think this nigga was picky. Now I see.
I'm going to say goodbye, guys.
What? You don't want to? I'm gonna introduce you to a crescent moon girl.
No,
like where her chin juts out and her forehead juts out.
We are going home. They got to get the fuck out of my house. I love y'all. Like and subscribe. These niggas have defaulted to talking about fugly bitches. And I don't got time for that at midnight. That's not the type of conversation I'm here for at midnight.
Get the
Yeah,
fuck
so
out
hit that
this house.
space bar and, follow the instructions.
Like, I don't